It's time for another Quick 5, Part 2. I don't know, maybe eventually I'll come up with a better name for these, but right now it's just a Quick 5 mini reviews, just some movies that I've watched lately that I don't really go really in depth on. And all these can be seen on Tubi. First one is called the 27 Club. I almost said 2700 Club, because that show was a 700 Club. So 27 Club is a movie that came out in 2019. It opens with this guy, Quinn Scott. He's like a singer in a band, and he dies at the age of 27. And that's the premise of this movie, is that it's linked, 27 Club, Robert Johnson, Jim Morrison, Jimi Hendrix, Janis Joplin, Amy Winehouse, Kurt Cobain, they're all 27. So this movie the premise is that they've all sold their soul to the devil. And that's why they're all dying. And this girl wants to be famous too. So her name's Lily. So she finds the book, and there's like a necklace, which is kind of the big hole in the story, because it's like, and this isn't really a spoiler, but the necklace is like, if they wear it, there's something in it, I won't say what it is. While they wear it, they will, they will become that star, because she sucks, and then she, does a seance with the book and has the necklace, and then she's good all of a sudden. But like, if there was one necklace, because Jimi Hendrix and Jim Morrison and Janis Joplin, they're all famous at the same time, so they couldn't have all, were they sharing the necklace? Were there 3 necklaces and now there's only one? So that kind of doesn't work. But it's an interesting premise. She becomes famous, and she's almost 27 though. So I don't know, it's not super scary. I think if you like music, well, okay, if you're a big horror fan, you'll probably think this is stupid. If you're a big music fan, you might like it because it's an interesting concept. But it's like that movie White Man's Burden and Idiocracy. They're both great concepts, but they're poorly executed. Like they sound like they'd be awesome movies if you just read what they're about. But then you watch the movie, and it's like, oh, that's kind of lame. And it gets your hopes up because it is a great concept. All 3 of them are amazing concepts. The movies suck, or they're just not that good. So next is The Haunted House on Kirby Road, which is a long title, neat title, intriguing title. Title is way more interesting than the movie. And it's not that the movie was bad, it was just not that good. Like the first hour we spend watching 3 girls and 3 guys, and the guy, they're kind of unlikable. Like one of the girls is kind of likable, and one of the guys is kind of likable, and one of them just kind of doof. But after a while, there's one main guy that's really unlikable, because he's playing that douche that, I don't know, I mean, you're not supposed to like him. He's just super annoying. But like we spend, I think it's almost an hour before they actually get to the haunted house. The haunted house is haunted because some guy like killed his wife and killed his kid, then he hanged himself. So apparently if you go into the haunted house and you see in the reflection of like the mirror or a window, if you see his corpse hanging, then you become possessed and your eyes turn red, and then whoever you look at, I forget. It's worth watching. It's kind of, one thing that is funny about it is now we've become legal, it's more acceptable. So it's funny to see like stoners in movies don't act like the jackasses they used to, like back in the 90s, where they're all like, oh, hey man, why don't you come over? Now they get stoned and they just kind of act normal. So I thought that was kind of funny. But I don't know, it's worth a watch, not great. Some of the dialogue, I don't know why the dialogue doesn't work, because it's not that the dialogue's terrible, and it's not that the acting is terrible, but for some reason, something just doesn't flow about this movie. But it's got a nice title. Next is My Guardian Angel, which came out in 2016. So the last movie, I don't know if I said that or not. And it's a real slow burner. It's not that scary either, but it's pretty good. It's about this little autistic girl who's a mute. And she's got these really fucked up parents that just treat her like shit, and they're abusive. And she had a twin sister, but the twin sister killed herself. But the movie plays It's like an hour and 40 minutes, but after an hour, you find yourself like fairly invested in it, and it's, I don't know, I liked it. Not scary though, but it's considered a horror. And next, Abominable. I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to say that word, which came out in 2006. It looks like a Lifetime movie, but it's kind of fun. It's got, and it's kind of just like, looks like a B movie, but the cast is weird because it's like, it looks kind of low budget, but it's got Dee Wallace, it's got Bishop, it's got Jeffrey Combs, and it's got Lloyd Braun from Seinfeld. You know that episode of Seinfeld, the Serenity Now episode? Serenity Now! It's like a modern day Rear Window, sorta, because he's in a wheelchair. He just got out of the nut house, and once again, he's playing a character who may or may not be crazy, but he's watching out the window, and instead of a murderous neighbor, there's a murderous, like, Bigfoot monster killing people, and he's trying to communicate with them and he can't. So he's got to do all these things. I don't know. It was kind of fun. It wasn't like awesome, but it is a fun movie out in the woods, and you kind of get that helpless to monsters fun because you don't really get to see them for like the first hour. And wasn't bad. And finally, we have #FollowMe, which came out in 2019, and it's about this YouTuber and her two friends. They're British, and the three of them fly to LA, and it's obnoxious from start to how far I got. I couldn't even finish it. It was like watching the Spice Girls reunion. They're just so, I was hoping this movie would lead us into Human Centipede Part 4, and who knows, maybe it did. I don't know, because I got about 50 minutes in and said, nope, I am done with this movie. I'm not gonna do this to myself any longer. So, what we got? 27 Club. I'll say yes. If you're into music, especially if you're into like older music. Haunted House, yeah, watch it. It might be a fun movie to get beers and watch with a friend. My Guardian Angel, that one's good. It's not a movie you're gonna party and watch, but it's a good like Sunday afternoon killer. Abominable, that would be fun by yourself or with a friend. A couple beers might make it better, maybe better, maybe not worse. And Follow Me, I mean, like, unless you really hate yourself, I wouldn't even bother with that. So that wraps up today's Quick 5 movies. It took about 10 hours total, but Lego Yoda is complete. It's about 2 hours after I finished him. I forget, because his head it doesn't attach, and I forgot I was gonna vacuum and he was on the floor. So I quickly picked him up and his head just went, and my Jedi powers could not save it from falling and his face breaking and separating from the back of his head. So I had to put it back together, and I had a little piece left over. He's not missing it. He hasn't complained. But that's it. Lego Yoda, and that's the end of this review. So, talk to you guys later on this week. See ya! If you like this video, hit like and subscribe. Share it with your friends. Do whatever you normally do when you like something. If you didn't like it, well, then go fuck yourself. Until next time, goodbye.